Hello, nice evening tonight. I am in South Napa near the marina at a location called Buchli Station, and there's an unusual old building here that has some history, radio activities. This is the northernmost portion of the wetlands that are adjacent to San Pablo Bay. So here we are, coming towards nice sunset, lots of birds out, lots of great views. Been exploring this area and finding that there are connected jetties and levees and canals, amazing ditches. Then there's these long stands of very tall old growth eucalyptus, many times in a straight line and near intersections of some of the canals. It's pretty fascinating to be able to see that on the Google map and then come down here and look in person. So I'm actually near duck hunting area, so you might hear shotguns in the distance. Hopefully I won't get blown away. And here in this nice tidal pond, you can see amazing local birds. So fantastic time of the day, just out enjoying my surroundings, just only 15 minutes away or so from home. Just rode my bike over here, just enjoying walking in the marsh. And, it's very soft, very wet. There's a lot of ponds. Out at some of the elevated earthworks or berms, levees, they're very long. And there's a section over in American Canyon where I was yesterday, area that they refer to as a glass beach. I'd like to return there again and show you some of the things I found. But there is a tremendous amount of glass, and they say that it was a landfill of some sort. But when you're along the shore, similar to the shoreline of these wetlands, you'll see that these levees and works are quite amazing. They go for long distances, and they're very well built. But out on the San Pablo Bay in the marshlands, if you look carefully on Google Map, and I'll provide a couple GPS coordinates for you to see, there appears to be ancient construction or old foundations, very interesting things. And then when you're walking along the long levees, you'd start to determine what they're constructed of and how tall they are, not just from the surface of the water, but from the floor of the bay. So sometimes they could be as tall as 30 or 40 feet below sea level. And what I'm finding is that they're all made of demolition from previous construction. So I've seen mostly broken concrete slab. Some has rebar, different types of aggregate. I've seen black obsidian as an aggregate. Here's some of the locals. That's Mount Diablo. So back to the jetty. So it's made of boulders, stones, granite, marble, brick. I've seen broken pieces of statuary. Some of the areas there's concrete surrounded around granite pillars that are built into that. So a lot of things that are built, and these levees run and run and run, and they go in many directions, and they're very straight, and the surfaces are perfectly flat in relationship to sea level. So there's never a time in this area where there's any conditions throughout the year, or storms or tides, where the surface of these levees are overwhelmed. So this never happens, not ever. And the largest tides are coming towards the end of 2021. And I believe there'll be a local tide difference from high to low of nearly 10 feet that day. So I believe there's a 8 plus coming from a -1 or more. So it'll be interesting to get down to the levee and water's edge. That's really the time when any of the older artifacts of previous days will be seen. Some of the larger boulders. Very interesting. So they've built this entire system of levees out of our recent past. That's something I never heard of. So I always was told these were large dredging barges, and they moved in large amounts of boulders and dumped them in very long straight lines. But as you come out here, you'll find that it is indeed old rubble from all different types of era and all different types of stone, and much of it has some obvious cut marks, machine marks, drill marks, saw marks, and some of the amount of erosion on the marble and the sandstone components shows that they're very old. And then one last thing. So here we are at the edge, and we have the running railroad, and this runs around the entire perimeter San Pablo Bay. And the railroad is something that's really fascinating to me because it takes such a tremendous amount of material to actually build this roadbed. So many people do not consider how much mined basalt or granite or other rubble is used to create this running, flat, very level earthwork. These rail cars are very efficient only if they are maintaining level terrain. So many times, again, we'll see the rubble or the roadbed may rise 20, 30, 40 feet above the surface of the terrain in order for them to obtain that path for freight. As we come around, here's Napa Marina. And the last component is an old drawbridge. So elevated railroad bridge, very seldom used. But this crosses the Napa River near Green Island Road and just a mile or so from Glass Beach. And there's also a 300-foot long abandoned World War II battleship in Napa River that I would like to have an opportunity to see. Hope you enjoyed a little adventure. It's nice to get out and see what's happening around you and think about history. You hear that shotgun?